We're indebted to certain people who kept blatant, disgusting, perverted immorality away from our people. And they did it for over 3 decades. They were fantastic in how they did it. And one person in particular who didn't get the credit. Unfortunately, their efforts didn't last. We're going to tell you all about that movement and what it meant. And this is going to get interesting as we expose Hollywood, the banks, and the people who kept them from destroying this country a long time ago. I'm Dave Hodges. This is the Common Sense Show. We are the show that is freeing America one enslaved mind at a time. We defend God, family, country in that order. We believe in helping the oppressed, and we hope you'll help us in that. We have a tremendous, tremendous sponsor. Put your ear up next to the speaker. Do you want to get wealthy beyond your wildest dreams? Do you want to take care of your end-of-life care? Do you want to make sure your money is well managed and taken care of and you're not a victim of inflation? Do you want to make sure that your next generation is planned for, prepared for, and they're doing just fine? And the government's not going to take everything that you own after you die, and that everything you're doing is recession proof? Well, that possibility is there because the Rockefeller lawyers wrote IRS Code 7702, and it taught the rich how to become richer and protect everything in the manner I just described. Now, at Iron Hawk Financial, they've cracked the code. They know what to do, and they're doing it well. In fact, actually, two people from my audience not only went along with the plan and they're doing great, they also now are agents for Iron Hawk. Yes. So what do you got to do to find out more? All you got to do, no obligation. No one's going to push you. You have to qualify. And the qualification is very quick. They're just going to ask you a few questions and they will not hard sell you. If you don't qualify, they'll actually direct you to a place that might be more helpful for you. All you got to do is go to dhawk.com, put your contact information in, dhawk.com, and then someone from Marianne McAdory staff is going to contact you. All right, big buildup here. Listen, I care about this. And I think the Catholic Church gets maligned way too much. Now, have you seen the popes and the cardinals or whoever do something they maybe shouldn't have done? Yeah, it's called being a human. Have you seen what the Presbyterians are doing lately? Okay, I rest my case. So let's not get judgmental. Let's give the credit that's due from history. What we are looking at here is we had total immorality in our country that was just starting up, attacking the clergy, attacking Christians, a blatant sex before marriage. We don't care who it's with, just have it. And you'd be surprised. The year actually was right before our involvement in World War One. Ooh, that early? Yes. He said, well, wait a minute, I think you were talking about the sexual revolution, and didn't that start in the 60s? Some aspects did, yes, but the roots of this starts here. And it started in Hollywood. See, most of the institutions in America at the turn of the 20th century going forward were dominated by Christians. I didn't say they always acted like Christians. I said, but basically, they had Christians, professing Christians running them, except for one entity, Hollywood. And Hollywood was given a lot of money by the banks to start making talkies, not the silent films, the talkies. And this is where it gets really interesting, is we have to look at what the makeup was of the Hollywood crew. They were anti-Christian. Oh boy, big time. Many of them were Jewish. Oh, here we go again. Anti-Semitic. Just giving you the demographics, people. I'm not making a judgment here. They're mostly were fake Christians. They tried to pretend in public, but privately they were anything but. And they were atheists. And they kept attacking the Christian church. They kept attacking morality and showing things on screen that people are just going, we can't let our kids see this crap. Okay, so along comes Father Doherty from Pennsylvania, and he started something called the Legend of Decency. You know how we have movies rated today, R, G, GP, whatever those letters mean. Okay. They're not doing much good. Well, Father Doherty got the early version of this kind of thing, but it turned into a total ban. Listen to what he did. He said, banned nudity. This is from this group. Banned adultery, banned homosexuality, banned ridiculing clergy, criticizing Christians, all banned. Now you can argue, well, some of those are wrong to ban. Okay, that's your personal opinion and you're entitled to it. But what he said is none of this stuff will appear. In fact, I'll give you an interesting tidbit here. You know, the first time that we saw a married couple in the same bed together, not doing anything intimate, but they were just in the bed together. You know when that was? This is really shocking. And it's a show a lot of you, if you're in my age range, you go, oh, really? It was the Brady Bunch. And it was mom and dad actually in the bed, 1968. Yeah. And it's no accident, 1968. Seriously, we'll educate you on that as we go. Now, all these things were banned. Okay. They weren't allowed to be anti-Christian. In fact, you saw lots of shows about faith. In fact, you really had some good works. Now, let me give you the encompassing years. Father Doherty started this in 1934, and it continued until late 1965. But what happened? Are you surprised at this? How did this all go so wrong? By the way, too, you know what they called this? And you can look this up too. It's called the Hays Code. So when you had Father Doherty's Legend of Decency, they enacted the Hays Code. And this got incorporated into the FCC. This got incorporated into congressional law. In fact, even some of the broadcast rules they had even went beyond this. You couldn't have the bad guys winning. It would send the wrong message to the kid that crime pays. Isn't that interesting? Now, I don't think it's bad necessarily to give a kid in their teens a dose of reality, but I like the notion that they were not going to allow the media to tear down the morals of the country. And here's why. Being a former history teacher, I know a lot about why civilizations rise and fall. And it really kind of blends into with my knowledge of sociology, which was one of my undergraduate degrees. And the primary reason why nations fall is there is a precipitory factor. It's called moral decline. And thank goodness for Father Doherty, who blocked this moral decline. And if you know anything about the 60s, I think you say, yeah, it sure ended there. Well, yeah, it did. It did to a large degree. In the next segment, we're going to tell you how the media, these people running Hollywood, how they got around this legend of decency and started to pervert America's morals, particularly the youth. I'm Dave Hodges. This is the Common Sense Show. Stay tuned for more because we're just getting warmed up.